Good morning. Right, where am I today? Well, spring is tentatively, I say tentatively, it is spring, but it's slowly starting to come to fruition. In other words, I'm starting to see buds on the trees, and there's a little bit of sunshine in this country, which is a rarity at this time of year. But obviously it's pretty cold. It's only about sort of 7 to 10 Celsius. It's not warm today, so I'm still wearing a fleece. But I've come to Thrunton Woods, deep in, well, not that deep, but deep-ish in the Northumberland hills. Now the reason I've come here is just a little bit of a look around and relaxation. So I'm not looking for any old ruins or anything specific. I just want to have a little look around. So I'm quite excited to have a look around because I don't remember, I think I might have been here once when I was a kid. So I'm interested to see what the place is like. It's a pretty expansive area, so I'm probably going to only concentrate on the southern edge. Because that looks to have the most interesting trails to me anyway, even though there's a sort of hill fort and things to the north, but I'll get to that when I get to the map. So I'm interested to see what's going on, and there has been some investigations here about Bigfoot, but enough said about that, the better. So if I see any big feet other than my own, I shall report it. But I'm looking forward to having a look around here. It's looking very nice here. It's quite sort of out of the way and rural, which is nice. Although I've seen quite a few people with mountain bikes who will probably go tearing past, but I'll try and get off the beaten tracks and go and look at interesting things. So enough fanning about, let's hit the map. Right, let's have a look at this map. So let's hit maps. So that's where I am, this blue moniker here. So Thrunton Woods. I'm at the main car park. There are other car parks and entrances and exits, but this is probably the best place to park for access. But the entire site is, you see this green section here. This green section is basically Thrunton Woods, and there seems to be a water source that runs through, which is interesting. I presume that's a low point there that runs through. Let's just change to satellite so you can see what the hell I'm talking about here. Right, that's better. So this section here is where Thrunton Woods is. So it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to having a look around. So I'm probably going to go down to this section and then down, and then I want to have a look at this craggy area here. There are rocks and exposed sections down here, and then I'll work my way back up somehow to here, and then over here somewhere is a secret cave, but I may or may not locate that. I think it's somewhere, I wonder if that's it. It's somewhere around here, I think, but I'll have a look. In fact, let's go to a better map of that. Let's hit Alpine. Right, so that's where we are now. So if I zoom in, so that's where I am. So I'm going to walk down here, then down here somehow, and down, and then along, blah down, and then I'll probably hit this red trail, and then down to, you have crag, which looks interesting. Then I'll continue to Long Crag, because as you can see there from the topography, it's higher up, so I should get some good views. Then I'll work my way back, and then that seems to go down because you've got water, so that's generally a lower lying area. And I'll work my way up, and up here is McCartney Cave. Now it's not McCartney from the Beatles. I think from history lessons, I remember it was some guy from a castle, but I'll have a look. I may or may not locate that because that marker, it looks dubious to me, but I shall certainly check that out. So very interesting area, and as you can see, it's in the middle of nowhere, right in the hills of beautiful Northumberland. So let's get on with it. I've only been walking for 10 minutes and look, what a camping spot. Beautiful. And in the distance, I can get you a bit closer, over there's a big crag, so you could use that for shelter. It's fantastic here, incredible. The amount of birds, I mean, you can hear them, listen. Amazing. I mean, it's a bit windy today, but you're perfectly sheltered here as long as you don't get under a widowmaker, I suppose. And there's even a little camp I've discovered, so let's have a look. I'll turn the camera around so you can see. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it will do the job. But only 10 minutes in and I really like this place. It's proper natural, as they would say. So let's make a move. If I'm going to find Bigfoot and a load of crags, it's time to make a move, so I'm off. Look at all this carpet in the floor here. Now, does anyone know what plant this is? There's a little, whilst I try and get footage of this bumblebee. See him there? He's looking for pollen. You'll not probably find much pollen over here, Mr. Bee, but this is an interesting plant. It is absolutely all over the shop here, and it's not the right time of year, obviously, but this is blueberries. So if I can find, sometimes you get the rare one. There's one. You get the rare one that's coming on a bit. See that? It's sort of starting to take the shape of a blueberry, but obviously that's the flower at the moment. But it's carpeted all over here with these tiny little leaves. It's pretty easy to spot, but obviously don't eat anything if you're not sure. I'm not saying go out with a plastic bag and start eating everything in the woods. You really need to know what you're doing. But blueberry season, I mean, it's a way off, but once they turn to blueberries, there'll be absolutely tons of it here, loads of it. So what a place. 15 minutes in or something and I found blueberry plants, I've found camps, crags, the lot. Right, I'm heading towards the crags, as they call them. So we'll see what we can spot. But look, and listen to the birds. The place is absolutely overrun with songbirds, which I like. So that's fantastic. So it's a nice serenade. I've seen a lot of people on bikes, which I suppose if you're after a bit of peace and quiet, you're not going to get any peace and quiet, but that's good because I like to see people out. I'd rather see people out and about than nobody at all, so I think that's important. But it's gone quite sort of overcast. You can see up there, it's gone quite overcast in the sky, but we'll get there, we shall get there. So I'm heading down sort of southerly, as you know, when I showed you the map, we would go down towards these crags, then I'm going to go along and eventually try and get to this, you know, whatever it's called, MacArthur's hut or whatever the hell it's called, a cave. Oh, there's a nice little place. Look behind me. Little trail going off into there. And there. I'll just go and have a little look. Let's have a look, because I love going off trail. It's always more interesting than sticking to the path. Let's see what's in here. This is amazing. The weird thing about these sort of pine forests is that almost soak up the sound. So you come into a bit like this and sound just goes boof. I mean, yes, you get the birds, but you almost feel like you're in a zombie film. Look, nobody about. Beautiful. Gone a bit off track here, as I like to do, but look what I've found. An old dry stone wall. So God knows what this used to be. This must have been some boundary at some point. Interestingly, if people are watching this who aren't from this country, you may or may not be aware of dry stone walls, but obviously this one's now carpeted in moss, but they're made without mortar by hand. So if I can try and get a shot of the light coming through, see? So they're extremely skillful the way they knit them together. Look at that. No mortar, and they last a long time. I accept this has fallen down here, but generally they last a hell of a long time. They tend to be sort of fatter at the bottom and then thinner at the top, but that's incredible. Look, and it goes all the way along in the distance through that holly tree there. So this must have been some sort of boundary. So I'm just having a little bit trail about because I don't like sticking to the tracks because it gets boring. But luckily I haven't seen any Bigfoot yet, so I'm still alive for now. Been traipsing away and look, pine resin, look at it all. I love this stuff, it's really handy. You can mix it with carbon from fires and make it into a glue, almost like an epoxy. And the best bit, if you get it on your fingers like this, and that smell is absolutely incredible. I love the smell of pine resin. Oh, I think that's probably why they used to anyway. They used to use it for toilet cleaners because it's such a fresh sort of smell. But it's handy stuff. You can make fires out of it. You can make glue. Incredible stuff. You can actually, I've heard people say you can use it on wounds. I probably wouldn't because I don't know what's on the surface of that, which could then get crushed into a wound. But if you're in a pinch, maybe. Wonderful stuff. Well, I'm working my way up to the crags, but I mean, you probably can't see, it's very difficult with angles and stuff, but it's kind of like that. So for the last 15 minutes I've been going straight up, and you're probably wondering, why does it look so dark? Well, it's starting to rain, so I won't be needing these, will I? So I'm going to continue to the top and hopefully it'll stop raining. It's past dinner time now, so I may stop, but the problem is with all this pine, if I stop and cook something, there's a risk of fire. And I know people say, no, there's not. There is, because if you've ever dug under a pine tree, it's dry even when it's been raining, so you've really got to be careful. So I'll pick my spot, or I'll just have some chockies, because you can't go wrong with chockies. Very healthy chocolate. So I'll continue. Wish me luck. I'm hiding from the rain. It's drizzling a bit, so I'm under the crags. I've come along from Coal Crag, just a little way, and you can get under these really good crags. I'll show you the view. It's time for me to have something to eat. I'm a bit tired climbing all this way up, so there's a lot of stone here, so there's no risk of any fires. So I'll make some grub, and then I'll have a drink, and I'll make my way along, because I'm going to hit another crag, and then I'm going to go down and into the woods again, and then circle around and see what else I can see. And I'm going to see if I can see that McCartney cave, or whatever the hell it's called. But it's hand carved, it's not a natural structure, so that'll be quite interesting. So anyway, time to eat. I don't know if you can see that, but it's peeing down, it's raining. So because it's raining, I'm going to make myself a cuppa. So luckily I've got my 3-in-1 Nescafes, so I'm going to have a cuppa and wait this out, because according to my brilliant Never Wrong app on the phone, this should only last half an hour. So I'll have a cuppa and some chocolate. So if I don't freeze to death, I'll see you later. Right, the rain is sort of going off, as you can see in the background there. You can see the clouds are really way down. You can see them passing by there. See them? They're way down near the ground level. It's very cold, so because it's cold, I could wait out a bit longer, but if I keep moving I should be okay. So based on the information I have, that's the most sensible thing to do. So I'm going to make tracks and hit Long Crag, and then when I've hit Long Crag I'll head down and back into the woods. So I'm off. done about 7 miles and I'm in the middle of nowhere, but beautiful here. No people. I can't find that bloody cave though, McCarthy's cave or whatever the hell it's called. So unfortunately I think I'm going to have to come back another day, which is a shame, but I'm sorry I can't find the bloody thing. I mean, in the distance there's those hills, the crags. I was up there, beautiful, very nice, but I'm a little bit knackered because all I've really had is some noodles, so it's probably not enough energy. You can do it, but it just slows you down, so I shall continue. So I've done about 7 miles. It's probably about 8.5 when I get back. But lovely place, absolutely massive and expansive. And listen, nobody, no horrible human beings spoiling it. Absolutely fantastic. Right, let's continue. Oh, I'm back. That was long. In fact, I'll tell you how long. Let me look on the phone here. So if I have a look, I'm guessing about 8.5 miles because that was pretty far. I think what made it quite difficult was I was going up and down terrain, which always makes it more difficult. Right, according to this, it's 8.09 miles I've done. I mean, thing is, it's quite difficult for me because I've got to keep running backwards and forwards with the damn camera, but never mind. Right, now as you can probably see, well, it's fuzzed up a little bit there, but there's some people with bikes there, so there's still people here. Although apart from those 2 guys on bikes and the last person here, there's no one else here. So I've had a great time. I love the trails. It's quite technical on some of the bits, but then there's quite very steep bits which go on and on and on. Then you've got the lovely crags. Excellent. I had to hide in there because of the rain, which was a bit annoying. But then I cooked some noodles and I made a coffee and I had a little bit of this and that, and had a bit of a sit around, and then I made my way. I timed it so I would just get a little bit, but then by the time I got to the highest point, the views were rubbish. Do you know why they were rubbish? Because you couldn't see a damn thing, because the cloud level was so low that at that height you couldn't see a damn thing. So God knows what that'll look like. So I do apologise if it looks crap. I'm just going to open this a little bit. Just to let the air circulate. Aye, so I mean, I can't really complain. I did look at some of the weather forecasts and they did say it was going to have a little bit of rain, so I can't complain. But I've had a great time. Loads of scope for more. I mean, I only did just over 8 miles there, but you could probably do, I mean, if you hit the north section, and I couldn't find that damn cave, if you hit all that, you'd probably do 10 easy. So, do you know what? I'm very thirsty, so I'm going to try something. It's time for a Captain Kombucha. What do you think of that? Captain Kombucha. Basically, it's tea, but fizzy, so well, fermented anyway. So let's have a try, eh? Right. Smells like. I'll be honest, it smells like piss. But that doesn't mean it'll taste like that. Fizzy tea, essentially fizzy cold tea. That's what it's like. I mean, in China I used to like red tea, especially at the sports centres. They used to have red tea and that was so refreshing. But that's similar, I suppose, but this is a fermented one.
Legendary fermented drink, Captain Kombucha. And I'm not getting sponsored by these people, so I'm not bigging them up for, you know, on purpose. So anyway, so let's give this a mark out of 10. Not the Captain Kombucha, this place. Thrunton Woods, fantastic. There's so much scope for more. There's high bits, there's low bits, there's secluded bits, crags, caves, the lot, although I couldn't find one of the caves. I'm going to give this 8.5. It's not the right time of year, so I've only got myself to blame. I was right at the top. It was extremely cold, especially with the wind chill and then the low cloud. But I think if you came here in the summer, bloody fantastic. The only problem is loads of people on bikes going blasting past. But you can't say, well, people on bikes aren't allowed to use it. That's not fair. There's nothing wrong with people using their bikes. It's nice to see them getting out. So if you want a bit of peace and quiet, you need to go off the main tracks just to get away from that sort of thing. But other than that, great. Really like the place. It's a shame that it's been an overcast day. I mean, it's starting to brighten up now. It's, you know, nearly 5 o'clock, so we'll see how it goes though. So I'll give it an 8. 8 out of 10. Thrunton Woods, fantastic. And I didn't see Bigfoot. I mean, we must discuss that one time. The theory of Bigfoot. Is it a mental illness, or is it a spirit, or is it an animal? I mean, there didn't seem to be proof for any of that, unfortunately, but there's a lot of investigation seems to go on. Right, so I'm going to get away because I'm bloody knackered. I'm going to have my Captain Kombucha, which says it's ready to drink, although looking at it, it looks like it's, you know, ready for the bin. It says it's got filtered by reverse osmosis, organic evaporated juice fermentation, organic green tea kombucha cultures. Good God. Quite refreshing, actually. Right, I'm off. Enough of me waffling on. Bye bye.